Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching AirsickHydra, and today we're going to be going through a replay of Tau, played by myself, against Trace Wyvern as the Orcs. Now, Trace is also a streamer, and over on Twitch, I'd really appreciate if you click on the link down in the doobly-doo, go drop a follow, and check out the gameplay by Trace, because a very, very good player, really worth watching. You'll definitely pick up some tips and tricks, and conveniently, always streams while I'm at work, so how about that? Now, a little bit of a fluff-up at the beginning. I go for the Kion because, well, I was panicking a little bit and I couldn't type for some reason, so a complete mess up here. I get some extra accuracy for himself. Whoop-de-doo, Basil. We'll see if this ever comes in use in this game, but thus far the map seems to be fairly evenly spread. Obviously that middle point on the left is going to be fairly well contested, and again, as you might recall, or as you may have noticed against this pesky faction, their escorts are not stealth. They don't have silent running, so what we're doing straight away is sending out a bombing run over to those escorts on the right hand side to basically kill them for free. And what that's going to do is give me a little bit of map pressure over on the right hand side. There you can see the bombers going out, and this is going to basically allow me to just dominate a little bit more of the map a little bit earlier, go ahead and back cap. So this is something I would nearly always do against Orcs. Now, you might be unlucky and that might not be a couple of escorts. He might do the switcheroo, or she might do the switcheroo at some point and do a couple of flagships over there, in which case you send your bombers over and they're probably not going to last very long, but for the most part generally they're going to be escorts over on the side. Now, we do have 3 units here, but it looks like his units are getting remarkably close, been smashing that big red button, so I'm going to have to be a little bit cautious. And we have the dreaded light cruiser spam, something that's very, very strong. I'm running perhaps a little bit less of a meta fleet, although some pretty decent units. The Custodian really is no joke. The Tau Warsphere is going to be interesting. I'm not running the fear immunity here, so this Warsphere is probably going to break morale pretty darn quick. We're going to have to see how it performs, but I'm very, very excited to see what happens. So, straight away, we've got a decent amount of damage coming over on the right here. Those tier 6, that's a tier 6 bomber squadron, completely wrecks an escort in one hit. And then I believe the next one should go down as well in a moment. Now, a little bit of mismanagement here. We're not expecting so many big red buttons, and I'm probably going to lose an escort. I think I've just lost one, and now we need to get the hell out of there. Perhaps even move around and back cap, because we can see where his units are on the map. So this is what we need to be doing. He's getting a little bit close, and we do have a stasis bomb at the ready. We put it down. It seems that the circles aren't really working. One thing I've not done thus far is use target priority, but what I'm trying to focus on doing and really get down nice and quick are these escorts, because, well, they can do a lot of scanning and they can actually cause a lot of problems. Doing the missile on the unit that's inside a stasis bomb, never a good idea. The missiles are just going to get shot down, so that was a bit of a waste and a misplay by myself. Now, he is getting very close, but I am rocking the ability to turn nice and fast, so we're going to get that Custodian out of there and we're going to run like hell with this unit, because, well, if he catches up, I die. Pure and simple, I need to run. Kiting is going to be the name of this game. That's what we're going to be doing for probably the next 15 minutes. Tractor bomb doing well, but I have the ability on this faction at the moment to dodge 50% of shots when I have my thruster activated, and you'll notice the majority of my units are in reload stance now, which is going to allow me to use that a lot more often. Warsphere morale already flying down. Kind of surprised that it's not been boarded to death, but I think it probably will be in a second. We're going to need to do an encouraging speech just to keep it in there a little bit longer. Now, we have managed to ram a few units, take a little bit of health down, and we've managed to board his flagship as well, so we've managed to take the troops down a little bit, but I'm not sure as we're going to get the value out of that Warsphere, although it is tying them up quite nicely. It's buying me a little bit of time, but this game's going to go on for a while. This 20 seconds that it's buying me probably isn't all that valuable. Now, it sounds like a tractor beam, but I can't see it anywhere. That might be against the Warsphere, not entirely sure, but we're going to keep all of these units running right now, and now we can go for the backdoor map dominance by sending the escorts through, which we need to do against this faction. If we're going to be kiting, we need to force him to either go to the points to relieve some pressure from this chase, or, well, actually that would be my preference, actually, if he just decides to go for the points and leaves me alone so I can shoot him for a bit. But you know what, if he chases me, that's fine, because I can get the points. So Either that or maybe he'll split up, and it looks like that's what he's thinking of doing actually, so that's what we're going to do too. We're going to make this easy by just running around. We'll send some bombers in here, try and take down that flagship. Now, sending in a group of missiles there's probably a little bit risky, but we're going to do it. We're going to get that cuff. Is it? I always forget the name of those. Protector. I'll call it a protector. We'll get the protector the hell out of there. One tier 2 bomber's probably not going to make it that far, but now we're recapping some points. We're getting some points back. He's miles ahead of me, up to 1,000 thanks to that kill on the war sphere, but even that big red button is not enough to keep him alive against me. One very low unit on the left here. We'll see if the bombers can go in and do a sneaky little run and take them down. Maybe. Orcs don't have a great ordnance or defense against ordnance rather. Their turrets are pretty poor, so hopefully our bombers can do a little bit of work here. And here we have a flagship, lonely flagship sitting in the gas cloud, and I think that's going to be a prime target for us. If you can take these down from the orcs, mutinies are going to follow fairly swiftly. So there we go down here now. Are our bombers coming back? Yes, they are, and they have managed to even put a fire on that ship. So that ship's going down, and it looks like our fighters are probably dead. Was that a good trade? I'd say maybe. Probably not, but we're not going to get many good opportunities to pick off a single unit here, so we're going to be running with our custodian, I think, for some considerable time. We know the flagship is still hiding in the gas cloud right now. We're about 600 points down though, which is quite a lot. We got our little escort coming over to give us a little bit of vision, and we're circling around. It seems that he's breaking off finally. He's deciding to go either for the point or for my unit down here, but we're going to move and start kiting around there. We want to maintain like a max distance. We're going to basically be using our fleet's sort of carriers to really do this and try and take him down. A couple of fires on the flagship, that's going to be doing a nice amount of damage. Now, I am wary that he's heading toward me, so even though it's tempting to face him, even though I'm getting not a lot of damage by my choice of orientation here, it needs to be done, because if I choose to fight, I will lose. This is something I'll always maintain against orcs. You will lose if you choose to do a head-to-head fight, so don't do one. It's not going to go well. You can, however, kite, and we're doing a very nice job of it right now. Now, it does seem that his flagship is heading just outside of the visual range of the fighters, probably going to go into stealth soon, which is going to suck, because we have a bunch of tier 6 bombers on the way over to that flagship, which would lay down a world of pain, but we still have 3 points, so we're catching up slowly. This is really good. That early sort of sacrifice from the war sphere is slowly being mitigated, although I think if I had another protector it would be doing a lot more for me right now. Just because the rest of my fleet is one that is choosing to kite. Here we go again. He's coming close, but the 50% damage mitigation while using this burner looks like it's probably going to save me from any lucky crits on his part, and we can just choose to run away again, so that's looking good. Bit of a mistake over here on my part. This unit has managed to use all of its burner, so that's not too good. Aha! But here we spy an enemy leader. Oh dear, we're going to go for the Admiral and we're going to see what we can do. So, Custodian now going to switch direction and see if we can take down one by one some of these units with these tier 6 bombers. Might be able to get that done, and it seems that our engines are back online down here in the bottom left, so now we start running again. We've got a lot to keep a hold of right now, a lot to manage, which is making this pretty darn stressful. There is a lot of different directions to watch and a lot of different things going on, so very easy to make a mistake. You can see them getting a little bit close to my custodian. He looks like he's really tempted to try and take down. Oh, there we go. We can get some more troops taken down on the leader, and we just managed to make it out from the lightning strike range, which is good because he's just popped the war as well, and that's basically just protected us from a bunch of very high critical hit lightning strikes, which may well have taken down a ship component, so that's good. If I can stay out of lightning strike range for 30 seconds, that's perfect. Now we still have our ship on the left. We're going to continue sending the ordnance out there. The leader as well, I'm going to keep calling it the leader, but it is an admiral. Uh-oh, that's not looking too good. Fortunately, a very quick turn and a boost, and we can get the hell out of there. Custodian is also still kiting around, these ships still chasing, and doing okay here, actually, doing okay. Sent a unit of fighters out for some reason, instead of bombers there, which wasn't perhaps the smartest thing to do. Now, one thing I could be doing with my escort in the middle of the map now is sending that to the bottom right corner of the screen, forcing him to send units on their own to to sort of split him up and capture those points back. So I think this escort attacking here, there we go, we're a little slow, but we've decided to do it in the end, and now we can continue the thrusting away from this guy. Now I think I probably should have given a bit of a longer movement order there, but let's continue the move down. He's pulling me toward this escort, which is going to be looking to do a ram. But that tractor's going to be over pretty soon, and I do have a full engine here which I can use to my advantage. The escort's fortunately paused and having a little pop shot at me, but a ram I think would be a lot more scary. But its morale is going down pretty quick. Custodian, again, moving away, just keeping it somewhere safe. Now I'm going to force him into an awkward split. Orc turn speed is not particularly fast. We're going to try and move. Uh-oh. It seems like that unit on the left is getting very, very close to being engaged upon. We're going to send this glorious unit for the greater good over to see what we can do against his flagship. And we have only 3 units here, including a light cruiser and 2 escorts, which I think is not too imposing and should be fairly straightforward to deal with. Tractor is moving me towards his unit. It looks like he's going for the cheeky ram, and we're going to counter that, of course, because, oh no, our engine's just been put onto the yellow. Fortunately, we can still use it, just about get out. And here we go, a unit I forgot about on the left is getting punished. Engine's dead. That unit is kaput. That was my blunder, basically, for not getting it out of there, especially when I had the capacity to. Very, very fortunate here that I'm still out of range, and a flagship is still running. I think there's only one way to take this down, and that's going to be just like the Imperial Navy with my face. Now, a couple of very low escorts here. We're still 300 points down though, despite the fact that we do have a decent lead in terms of point captured. Well, rather, we have 3 and he has 2, so we will overtake eventually, but this is going to be pretty darn close. We still haven't got that escort over to the right hand side. I don't know why quite exactly he decided to take a tea break, but it would be nice if they came and joined in. And we do have some more ordnance at the ready here. We have some bombers, and I think now is going to be a good time to send those out. They're going to do a whopping amount of damage to this ship. Its morale is looking really low as well. We can also scuttle one of these escorts just to prevent a ram, and that's going to give us a little bit of safety over here in the bottom right. He doesn't have the ability to capture them back. Quite a few fires as well, so these 3 units are pretty much out of the picture, and the map control is once again ours, although we're still down in points and we still have some catching up to do, but lots and lots of kiting. But only 2 units left to kite with for myself, thanks to a blunder on the left hand side of not paying attention. Now we're going to send the old escort over there. Finally, it should have done this a long time ago. I think I cancelled the movement order accidentally. Now we do have a light cruiser running away here. I'm going to go for the kill on it just to try and pick up those points, because I think they're going to be really, really important to try and just secure this victory and guarantee it. If I do lose a custodian, that's 500 points. If I lose this custodian, that's going to be me losing the game instantly. Simply can't afford it to happen. Need to prioritise the custodian surviving. But what we can also do is use the ordnance to take down another free escort kill, which is sort of rocking on over on its own down there. We can use these burners to get the hell away. Our other protector over in the top right here is moving away too. Still got a little bit of ordnance of its own, and we out of missiles, unfortunately, which would have been nice at this phase of the game. Now let's see how a little Tau escort fares against an Orc unit. Let's definitely move the custodian the hell out of there. This is looking pretty stressful. He's being chased down, and we are kind of cornered in the map, but we do have an advantage in terms of speed. Only 500 points left to go, but this is going to be a stressful 500 points right now. We don't have very good damage out of the broadsides, and let's see how a ram does here. He's lower health than me, but he does have more hull and everything else. Oof! That is a terrible engagement. That is the extra ram damage from the Orc escort coming out for you. I was feeling a little bit devil may care there, and feeling a little bit of a maverick. I wanted to see what the result would be, and kind of as expected, pretty poor for the Tau player. Now we do have a low ship here on the left. It looks like we can try and focus this down with bombers, and we need to get this custodian the hell out of here. We need to get it to a range where it can start regenerating those shields. Don't really want it to be absorbing those lightning strikes. And here we have a cheeky Orc unit looking for the ram, and we do manage to just nudge him with our wing, and I think that was a beautiful little fin flap there just to take him down. That was quite something special. A little cheeky smack on the side as he ran around. A little bit risky because the ramp damage from those is quite impressive, and we're going to start running away with the Custodian again, who is getting a little bit close to the enemy for comfort, but still pretty healthy. Repair drones have been activated a couple times at this point, so the health of this ship is still fairly robust, still looking pretty healthy, and thanks to the very long game we've been able to do this. So the kiting continues, the 3 points are being captured now by the enemy, and it seems that he's realised the Custodian is the only way to win here, but without that tractor beam, this is going to be really, really tough for him to achieve. Now we're going to take down these escorts instead of focusing on point capture, just because it's going to be an extra 30 points here and there, which seems like a good investment for what we need. We're rocking the reload stance down with Custodian here, allowing us to make as much or cover as much ground as we can. We've got one more escort over here that looks like we can try and take down. We're rocking the lock-on stance with this ship now because it no longer needs to prioritise movement. One more bomber run and that seems to be enough to secure the game. This was a really stressful one and really, really enjoyable. Definitely stressed my ability to manage different units across the map, and mistakes were made along the way, but perhaps a little bit of a showcase as to how one can play against the Orcs. I really do think if you try and have a stand-up fight against them, you're going to lose, and well, that's for me, that's how I would choose to play. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and now I'll see you next time. Take care.